they first came in, okay? But I understand there is a more comprehensive, and I believe there is a more comprehensive permit review process. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And I'm only going to you because you said that.
That's okay. So to go with her question, you're saying the permits are taking longer. The permits for the compressor stations certainly aren't taking longer.
Are you talking about compressor stations now?
I'm talking about gas activity.
Okay.
Drilling, gas
There's
activity.
a different permit process.
Yes, there is, and
Drilling
you're
and,
streamlining the process for the compressor station so they can go right through. You're giving them GP5s permits that they don't even have to go through any kind of public.
The GP5 permits, they do not have to go through any kind
That's
of public
correct.
process.
How can you on one foot be doing that, streamlining the process for them, and on the other foot stand here and say that we're slowing them down? No, you're not. You're speeding them up.
The drilling I'm talking about. As far as the
But
natural
it's all
gas
connected.
compressor stations.
Oh my God.
Gas activity.
Compressor stations. I understand what
You're
you're
talking
saying.
about pollution.
GP5 permits.
Correct.
That is correct.
You're speeding up.
Compressor stations, the GP5 permit, you don't have to have a public comment period. You don't have to have a public hearing where you can voice your concerns.
There's a
not?
challenge against that, correct, in
Right.
court?
Why not?
Why not? Here's the answer you're going to hate, because in the provisions, in the laws, they don't have to.
And who, did you just pass that law, or has that
I don't
been-
pass the laws.
No, no, not you.
Not you.
I mean, the
Not
General
me.
Assembly of Pennsylvania.
General Assembly of Pennsylvania, yes.
Now, how long has that been in effect?
What's that?
This year where they
The
can.
GP5
Right.
permit,
Right.
that's always been in effect.
All right,
They're-
now, the process of hydrofracturing is, they're saying it's around for 60 years. That's a lie. This new slick water lateral hydraulic fracturing has only been around commercially since 2002. So none of these things that have been in effect, the laws, should even apply to that, because it's so entirely different.
Repeat that again. I'm not clear what you said on that.
I said that they keep saying, first of all, people keep saying that the fracturing has been around for 60 years. That's not, fracturing has been around for 60 years,
All
but
over the
not
world.
the
Right, not here.
unconventional,
Not here.
not the unconventional, horizontal, slick water, lateral drilling that's in effect now. That came in and started being used commercially in 2002. So the laws that are 100 years old, they should not even be considered. We need new laws, and should have, before that was approved and they started drilling, to keep up with the technology.
I'll give you 5 answers for that. Representative Eddie Day Kuczynski, State Senator John Udicek, State Senator Liz Baker, State Representative Phyllis Mundy, State Representative Gerald Mullery.
We're in touch with them all.
Okay, great.
Mullery is mine. I talk to him all the time. When we were down to
Sure.
Harrisburg the other day, I was at both their offices, and I talked to Phyllis Monday.
DEP doesn't, we don't make the laws. Okay, I
But-
know that's a cop-out.
But
We don't make the laws.
the point is, you can see that it's wrong, and they're not keeping up with it, and they're destroying our water, land, air, and our health.
Hold on, everybody, hold on.
Wait.
We're gonna go around in circles with this.
Yes.
Here is my suggestion that, thank you for coming so much, and you're really walking into the lion's den
I
here.
like that.
Why don't we put a list of questions through the email together?
Oh, we could be here all
We
night.
could send you the list of
We've been
questions,
doing that.
and you can answer that way. That way, we're not gonna go around and around and around.
Okay, I do want to.
We have a 2-hour meeting.
Yeah, it's a 2-hour. I don't want to hog up all the time. I have a question for you, Dr. Jones. Go ahead. Or, go ahead, I want to answer your question. Go ahead. I'll take this question.
I just wanted a message to go back to DEP.
Sure.
You know, a week and a half ago, there was a large summit down in Arlington, Virginia, of health professionals, scientists, and engineers.
Yes.
And the consensus of the people evaluating the potential harmful health effects of this said we need a moratorium. Dr. Rodriguez and I went to a lecture at the General Hospital today as a pediatrician from Washington, D.C., talking about all the potential health effects, both now and cumulative, you know, whether it's drilling, whether it's air, whether it's respiratory, everything. He says, you know what, the science is out there. The science says we need to put a halt on this first. Why, we want to know as the public, why the DEP isn't letting science guide this and instead is letting politics guide this. If it's the Department of Environmental Protection, you know,
Yes.
you expect that you're protecting our health, not And I disagree that the gas companies and the people are on equal footing.
Right.
These gas companies are not Pennsylvania companies. They're out-of-state corporations.
They are.
So you're representing Oklahoma, Texas, and different companies like that versus Pennsylvanians, and they should be getting equal treatment. I think Pennsylvanians should have a priority, you know, because we're the ones that are going to be living with this after
The
they get their.
residents should have the priority.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the
Okay.
message I want you to take
Send
back
out
to
the
them.
Okay, and I will leave you with this. If you're a private landowner and it's your private well, whatever you enter into an agreement with the natural gas company, that's your private business. You know, we can
The
go so
problem with
far.
that, though, is
Horizontal.
one person's private property, air and water, you know,
Do
go
not have
across
They
property
migrate,
boundaries.
right,
So
they
that's,
migrate.
you know, we're not talking property, but we're talking the environment that affects everybody. So
Horizontal fracture.
that argument is not necessarily hold water.
Boundary lines are invisible.
Right, absolutely. And that's true with compressor stations. We've heard that with compressor stations. What about the
That's right.
cumulative effects of compressor stations?
So you can't say
Going
it's
out into-
between one person because it affects everybody.
I'm talking about when you sign an agreement, how much we can get involved.
All right, so then maybe what we should do is go and start suing our neighbors because they signed the agreement and affected our water well.
Yes.
Well,
How
yeah,
about that, right?
yes,
Yeah,
that's what's gonna happen.
right, that's what's gonna end up.
Yes. So that's simple.
I mean,
I
it's
can't tell you what
like,
to do. I can't tell you what to do.
but I'm just saying though.
30 seconds.
You people should protect our water, our land, our
Wait. One person who I haven't heard from before.
One last question over here.
Yeah, one little question.
Yes.
You made a statement that the Department of Environmental Protection is out there to protect our water and others.
That's our mission.
I'm worried about the water right now. Okay. Why is DEP promoting the pollution of water?
What do you mean by promoting?
What I mean by that is, these companies have this brine comes back out and they're putting in injection wells. It's polluted. Any other company, you would require that they restore it to its natural state.
Correct.
DEP has power. Why don't they go after these companies, unless they have a way to bring it back to safe drinking of water, you can revoke their permits.
And you're talking about brine wells, injection wells.
I'm talking about permitting
stuff
them
that
to
goes
pollute
into it.
water and leave it polluted, and leave it polluted. Any other company, you would, boroughs and cities and townships have to run through sewage plants to restore the water. These companies can pollute the water, take it and throw it back in the ground somewhere, leave the polluted water in the ground, and you're telling me you have no control?
No, I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you we do have control.
And what are you doing
We
about it?
absolutely do. And when we do have a complaint that the water has been polluted here in
No,
Northeast Pennsylvania, with the brine, with whatever, we get a complaint, we're going to go out and investigate that complaint. I haven't seen any instances
I'm
where
not
you're
talking-
talking about brine injection wells.
I'm not talking about a stream being polluted. They're taking good water out of the streams. They're taking it out of the streams. They're mixing their chemicals.
Susquehanna River,
Okay.
right.
They're mixing their chemicals with it and they're polluting. That's pollution. In any term, it's polluted to some degree. You can't drink it. Then you're allowing them to, whatever comes back up out of the well, you're allowing them to take that, instead of recycling it and purifying it, you're letting them go into injection wells, whether they're in Ohio or Pennsylvania, somewhere in Pennsylvania, you're letting them keep pollute the water and let it pollute it. DEP has the control to say, no, you gotta restore that water.
Right.
Plus,
So
it's
what- can't-
consumptive use of.
I would like you to take that back and enforce that rule that if you guys can't restore the water, you can't get the permits. Why can't you do that? You
I'm
have
not saying I
power.
can't do that. I'm saying, yeah, I can do that.
Have you,
Yes.
has anybody looked into it?
I will actually take that back to my
Thank you.
regional
Yeah,
director.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
That is the first. I mean, not the first I heard about injection wells, but the first thing.
Well, it's not.
Not just injection.
Don't forget the injection wells.
Well, you brought that up, that's the first thing
Yeah,
you mentioned.
but the injection well was holding the polluted water. Any other industry did that, you'd be after them, say, no, you gotta run that through the sewage plant, or you gotta process it, you gotta get it back. But you're not going after the gas companies. And they're polluting 3 million gallons to 5 million gallons per well.
And it's consumptive use of water, it's never back into the water.
That's my question.
Ever.
DEP should be looking in that.
No, don't be so sure we're not.
Well, we don't
Okay.
know.
So sure we're not.
Well, I have a lot of
Yeah, let us
distrust
know.
in this administration,
Sure you
but
do,
anyhow,
absolutely.
I'm
In the
saying,
administration.
well, you're part of it, you work for them. Okay, all right, good.
Boss is a crook.
Thank you, Coleen.
You want to write this down, I gotta spell it out.
You feel like Gingrich now, or do you feel like,